So the Huskies, they lose this one 9-5 as they drop both ends of a twin bill against their division rival, the Eau Claire Express, and they drop to 5.5 games behind the Express in the overall Great Plains East standings. We welcome you up into the broadcast booth. I'm Kyle Morrison here with my partner, Wyatt Kopelman. And Wyatt, a tough day here for the Huskies. They lose 2 in a row in St. Cloud and then come here and then an opportunity for Duluth to really gain some games in the Great Plains East Division race and hopefully get home field advantage in that 3-game series. They ultimately lose that opportunity and lose 2 straight to Eau Claire.
Yeah, it's a tough day for your starting pitching as well. Of course, I mentioned that Caden Edwards came in, didn't have the sharpest start following a rough outing as well from the Huskies' previous starter in Mason Burns today, facing the Express order for the second time on the season. Those two combining for 11 earned runs here today. A lot of hits given up for the Huskies. The Express did not really surge or did not really waste a lot of time in being able to surge, and that's what it takes against the Huskies, who have had a lot of dominance here on their home field, scoring nearly 60% of their runs here at Wade Stadium this season. And the Huskies, meanwhile, combining for 19 runners left on base. That is a glaring problem going into tomorrow.
A team that had absolutely no issue scoring runs today was the Eau Claire Express. They end up turning in 21 total runs over the 2 games. And this was a team that came in 19th in the league in scoring, yet you wouldn't have known it by today.
Definitely not. Of course, the Eau Claire Express, they look to different factors in their lineup. They look to Caden Schwabe, the North Dakota State product. They look to Trevor Haskins. They look to multiple different guys, very similarly to what the St. Cloud Rocks were able to pose in those pair of 2-run losses over at Joe Faber Field. They had a lot of different all-stars. So did this Eau Claire Express team, which will also be showcased at the Major League Dream Showcase as well. A lot of different contributors here for the Express, and the Huskies pitching staff, at least on the front end here in Game 2, not offering many answers.
Well, it was not a highlight of a day for the Duluth Huskies, but we got highlights from tonight's game. We'll go into them right now. We'll start off with Caden Edwards, who had 2 strikeouts in the top of the first inning. He looked good at the very outset of the game, but ultimately that did not last for long, as Zakani, you see here, knocking in the first run for the Eau Claire Express, making it 1-0.
Yeah, and that was what really started to fuel the Express right away. They were taking aggression on the base pass, and that gave them a lot of momentum.
Here, Max Coop making one of the best plays we've seen in the entire Northwoods League, able to turn a double play after catching a hard fly ball out to left field and throwing out J.D. Rogers on the back end at first.
Oh, wow, that was just a great play as well, arguably the best seen here at Wade Stadium. And then Caden Schwabe following with the RBI single. That made it 2-0 Eau Claire, and they continue to surge ahead. Clay Kahn also scoring on a Huskies error as well, and that made it 4-0, and that's when it really started to get out of control. That's what the Express can do, capitalizing those 2-out situations.
Yeah, and they just kept on piling on. A 2 RBI single here from Caden Schwabe ultimately makes it 7-0 Eau Claire, and then the runs just kept on coming here as Eddie Satisky throws over to second, and they're unable to get to double play, and even worse, the ball goes over the head of Satisky and makes it 9-0.
Yeah, and that was just what the Eau Claire Express were able to capitalize on until Jared Medham lighting a big fuse. That 2 RBI triple made it 9-2, got the Huskies on the board just almost a few degrees away from carrying over that wall for a home run here at Wade Stadium. Big spark there. The Huskies were able to cut it to 7. Campbell, meanwhile, scoring on a sacrifice fly, or excuse me, lighting another spark with a sacrifice fly. So the Huskies, they weren't out of it until really that 9th inning when they just could not find a lot of momentum as we move into the middle innings or the late innings here.
Here, a nice defensive play from Christian Campbell as he makes a diving catch on a line drive. And then the Huskies, they have a few more highlights here. An RBI double from Eddie Rosario that made it 9-4 at the time. And then to finish off the scoring for today's 18 innings of baseball, Eddie Satisky, he would come up with an RBI ground out that would ultimately make it 9-5. And that is how the game finished, with a 4-run loss for the Duluth Huskies as they fall to 27-26. Nice play there for Sakani to end the game. So the Huskies, they have to rebound from this. It's going to be tough, but they're going to have a long trip to Bismarck tomorrow for a 2-game series against the Larks before coming back to play the Mud Puppies at home. These next 4 games are going to be tough because of travel, but this should be an opportunity for the Huskies to win some games back going against 2 of the worst teams in the Great Plains Division.
It should be an opportunity, and you would hope to be able to get back to that high run-scoring capability that you showed across that 5-game win streak as well. The Huskies were able to score 20 across those 5 games, and just to be able to come away with nearly a handful, less than a handful as a matter of fact, is a little bit disappointing, but you were able to put 5 runs on the board late. You had trailed from really the opening gates, and then you were able to also offer suffer those 5 earned runs unanswered against Eau Claire pitching. So it says a lot about the character of this Huskies team, not giving up RBI groundouts, 2 RBI triples. It didn't matter. The Huskies were still able to offer an answer, and that's what you want to do even against Matt Helwig, one of the leaders in the Great Plains Division in saves, right behind Tyson Neighbors, ranking 5th in the Northwoods League overall. But the Huskies, they have a long journey ahead of them, and this is another opportunity for them to regain a little bit of momentum with the Minnesota Mud Puppies waiting after them for the Bismarck Larks tomorrow and thereafter.
Well, the Huskies, they come out of the All-Star break with 4 straight wins, and then right after that follow it with 4 straight losses to 2 of their worst foes in the Great Plains and the St. Cloud Rocks and the Eau Claire Express. They're going to try and clean things up tomorrow against the Bismarck Larks on the road, and then our next broadcast here from Wade Stadium will be on Saturday against the Minnesota Mud Puppies at 6:35 p.m. We hope you join us for that one, but until then, I want to say thank you so much for giving us just a little bit of your Wednesday day if you watched the first half, or your Wednesday night if you watched both the first half and the second half of today's doubleheader. Final score here from Duluth for the final time. The Eau Claire Express win this one with 9 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors. The Duluth Huskies lose this one with 5 runs, 9 hits, and 3 errors. For my partner, Wyatt Kopelman, I thank you all so much for tuning in, and I wish you all a very pleasant good evening.